Okay, part 2 of the video, here we go. So number 12 is the last surface area one for this part. Okay, we're doing surface area of a cone. That formula is going to be pi RL plus pi R squared. We're going to go in terms of pi again. R is going to be half of this bottom spot, which is 14. L is this outside height, which is 50. So we have everything we need. Pi times 14 times 50 plus pi times 14 squared. Okay, so we have 14 times 50. We're keeping this in terms of pi. Will be 700 pi plus 14 squared is 196 pi. So we need to add those together. 896 pi is going to be our answer in square meters. So we left that one in terms of pi. So number 12. So next one, it's number 13, even though it says 14 right there. To the nearest tenth, find the volume. Okay, now we're doing volume. For a box, okay, it's just length times width times height. The formula is capital B times H. Okay, so for this one, capital B could be like 20 times 8 at the bottom. Okay, so that's just 160. All right, so that would be the area of the bottom, and then times the height, which is 16. So this is 160 times 16. Really, 20 times 8 times 16 in any order would be fine. The volume of this is 2,560. Now our units are cubic. Next problem, number 14. To the nearest tenth, find the volume of each figure to the nearest tenth. So we have 1/3 capital B H. Okay. We don't have the proper height for this. We have L equals 6 right here, okay, which is not exactly what we want. We need this height right here, okay, which we can come back to in a second. Capital B, it's a square on the bottom, so capital B is just 6 times 6. So capital B is 36. Okay, but we can't do that times 6 because 6 is not the height. So we need to solve for the height. This is 6. This is 3 down here, half of the bottom, which is 6. So half of 6 is 3. We need H. Okay, we're going to use Pythagorean Theorem. H squared plus 3 squared equals 6 squared. 6 squared has to be the one by itself because that's what the hypotenuse is. H squared plus 9 equals 36. So the height is going to be the square root of 27. So let's get that. That's going to be about 5.2. Okay, and that's what we're going to use over here. Okay, so 1/2 times, or 1/3, sorry, 1/3 times 36 times 5.2. So that's going to give you about 62.4 cubic inches. So with pyramids and with cones, you need the inside height for volume. All right, this is an example of a pyramid where you have the correct height. So this inside height is 7. Okay, so we're going to use that same formula, 1/3 capital B H. Okay, 1/3, the base is going to be, capital B is going to end up 5 times 5, so capital B is 25. So 1/3 times 25 times the height of 7. So 25 times 7 times 1/3, or divided by 3 is another way to think about that. Okay, to the nearest tenth, this is going to be 58.3 cubic meters. Okay, 1/3 times 25 times the height of 7. Next, number 16. Find the volume in terms of pi. Pi R squared times H is how you get the volume of a cylinder. It looks like 2 is R and 4 is H. So that height. Pi times 2 squared times the height of 4. So this is equal to 2 squared is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So this is 16 times pi centimeters cubed. Okay. Cylinders, just know what R is and know what H is. Next, number 17. This is a cone. Okay, you need the inside height, so we already have a problem there. But we have 1/3 pi R squared times H. We do know what R is. What we don't know is h, so that's what we need to figure out. So for h, again, this is going to be L. This is that outside spot, that outside height. Okay, we can solve for h with Pythagorean Theorem. So 5 squared plus h squared equals 15 squared. Okay, so we have 25 plus h squared equals 225. So subtract 25 from both sides. The square root of 200 will be our height, our inside height. So the square root of 200, okay, we're going to get 14.14, and that's what's going to go right here. Okay, this one's nearest tenth. It's multiple choice, so we're just going to plug in and get the closest answer. So when you plug this in, okay, your volume, so times 25 pi, and then times a third. Okay, I got 370.24. Okay, so the closest answer would be here, 307. Okay, next, number 18. The volume of this cone in terms of pi. Now we have the correct height. 1/3 pi r squared times h. Okay, so this is the inside height of 11. Okay, the radius is here at 3. So 1/3 of pi 3 squared times 11. Okay, so 3 squared times 11 would be 99. 1/3 of 99 is 33. So this will be 33 pi cubic centimeters. Next, number 19. The volume of a sphere formula, 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, if r is 9, okay, just make sure you know how to cube something in your calculator. They want this in terms of pi, so 9 cubed is 729, times 4/3 is going to be 972. 972 pi cubic centimeters. Okay, make sure you know how to type that in your calculator. Number 20, the volume of this composite figure. So this one can be a little bit tricky. We have a box on the bottom, okay, and a half of a cylinder on top. Okay, one thing that we know is that this is 12, which makes this radius half of 12, so radius is 6. If that is 6, we know that this much of this side is 6, okay, which means that this has to be 11. Okay, this has to be 11 because the entire thing has to make 17. So now we can get the area of the bottom, okay, the box on the bottom, okay, the volume of that is just going to be 11 times 16 times 12, length times width times height. So that's 2,112. Okay, we need this number. Okay, the half cylinder is going to be 1/2 of the cylinder formula. Okay, so that's 1/2 pi. R is 6. The height of the cylinder is this right here, which is 16. Okay, and we're just going to punch that in and get our answer. So 36 pi times 16, that would be the entire cylinder, divided by 2 since it's just half. So 904.78. Okay, these are the two numbers that we need to add together. So our answer, our total is going to be those two added together. 904.78 plus 2112. If you do that, we get about 3,016.8, okay, which is going to be closest to this 3,007. Okay, so find the volume of each piece and then add those two pieces together. Okay, number 21. The volumes of two similar prisms are 729 and 64. The surface area of the larger prism is 620. What is the surface area of the smaller prism? So they gave us volumes. We want to turn those in. We want to turn that ratio into a surface area ratio so we can cross multiply. Before we do that, we have to get A to B. We have to turn A to B into A squared to B squared. So this is kind of our step one. We got to convert that a cubed to b cubed into something we can use. So we know that we have 729 to 64. That's a cubed to b cubed. Okay, what we want is we want to turn that into a to b. The way that we do that is by taking the cube root of everything. Okay, so the cube root of 729, okay, is 9. The cube root of 64 is 4. 4 times 4 times 4. So that is equal to a to b. We want to turn that into a squared to b squared. So we want to square everything. Okay, so we have 81 over 16 equals a squared to b squared. We need this. This is the ratio of the areas. Okay, that's not our answer. Okay, what we do with that, okay, step 2, is we cross multiply. 81 over 16 equals, now that other number in the problem comes into play. The larger area is 620, so I'm going to put that on top since 81 is the bigger number this time. So we can cross multiply this and solve it for that missing surface area. So when you cross multiply, you get 81x equal to 16 times 620. Okay, then we would be dividing both sides by 81 to solve for x. So when you do that, 16 times 620 divided by 81, you get to the nearest tenth, you get 122.5. This would be in square centimeters. So that one takes a little bit of work. You got to get the appropriate ratio. If you need to find an area, you need the area ratio. If you need to find a volume, you need the volume ratio. Okay, question 22. Surface area of two similar cylinders are 81 pi and 100 pi. What is the ratio of the volumes? So they just want this. Okay, right now we have this. Okay, so we need to turn that into a to b, so we can turn that into a cubed to b cubed. So right now we have 81 pi over 100 pi. If you simplify that, you can cross out these pi's. Okay, that's a squared to b squared. So what I want to do is take the square root of these. Okay, that's 9 over 10. That's a to b. What I want to do is turn that into a cubed to b cubed. So I want to cube both. Okay, so 9 cubed is going to be 729, and 10 cubed is 1,000. This is our answer. So you're typing in 729 over 1,000. Question 23. The LA of a pyramid is 300 square feet. If the perimeter is 60, what is the slant height? So L is the question. The formula for LA of a pyramid is 1/2 PL. Okay, we know that LA is 300. We know that P is 60. We're looking for L. So we just need to solve this for L. Maybe you could do 1/2 times 60 first, and then divide by 30. So you're going to be left with 300 divided by 30. So you're going to be left with 10 as your slant height. Okay, question 24, which I believe is the last one. Yeah, last problem. The volume of a cylinder is 810 pi square meters. If the height is 10, what is the radius? So radius is the question. So they have volume of cylinder. The formula for that is pi r squared times h. So it's another one of those work backwards. We know that the answer for volume is 810 pi. And that's equal to pi. We don't know r. And then we know that h is 10. Okay, maybe you can divide both sides by pi right away. Okay, that gives you 810 equals r squared times 10. Divide by 10. That gives you 81 equal to r squared, but we want r, so we're going to take the square root. So we know that 9 is the square root of 81, so 9 meters would be the radius. Okay, so a work backwards problem, just find the correct formula, and then plug in what you know, solve for what you don't. Okay, that's everything on the practice test. Thanks for watching. Good luck on your test upcoming.